Hi, my name is Claudia Casal, and we're going to move through a very basic level 1 mat work class for 30 minutes. So let's come over to the back end of your mat, standing with our legs together, thinking of the foot centers grounding down through the floor, pulling up through the midline through those magnets in your thighs, knees, and ankles, arms down towards sides. Take an inhale to lift all 10 toes and shoulders. Deep exhale through the mouth to lower. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. 2 more. Toes and shoulders lift. Last one. As you exhale, grow taller through that spine. Now let's take a plie. Arms reach forward and exhale to lengthen again. Hold the plie, ribs in, abs in, add a little pelvic curl, ribs in, pull the belly in, and then actively lengthen the pelvis back to its stable position. And again, pelvic curl, feel that opening through the lumbar spine, and actively lengthen. 2 more. Last one. And lengthen, extend the legs, arms reach overhead. Let's roll it down in 2 breaths. Lead with the crown of the head. Round and contract through the spine, dropping the head heavy. So make sure you keep your hips directly over those heels. Relax your toes on the floor. Pulse the spine down. Two more. Ribs and abs pulling up towards the spine. Last set. Take a plie, bend at the knees, and extend through those legs. Press through those heels. And again, rounding through the spine and actively lengthen. 2 more. Hold it. Taking a double breath, we're going to walk those hands forward on the mat. Finding your upstretch or that downward position. Now, actively press to the heels of the hands. You can bring your hips a little bit higher towards the ceiling. Ribs and abs are pulling in. Heels are down. From here, we're going to deepen the fold of the hips to lift those heels. Exhale, lower. Watch your head. Don't let it drop. Keep the head nice and long. And lower. 2 more. Heels up to a relevate. And lower. Last one. Bring those heels up. Bend at the knees and then carefully come to all fours. Hands and knees. So, shoulders directly over the wrists. Spread the fingers wide. Nice long spine. Shoulders down the back. Ribs, belly pulling in. Keeping the legs together. We're going to take a full breath to round the back, finding a full flexion of the spine from tailbone to crown of the head. And a full breath to bring it back into that flat back. And again. 2 more. Last one. And lengthen out. Press those hips back, round the spine. Find your child pose or that resting position, and then actively roll the spine up. Good. Let's bring those legs around. Scoot towards the front, so towards the center of your mat. We're going to bring the legs hips width apart. Think of the heels aligned with your sit bones, holding onto the front of the knees. You want to be able to be right on top of your sit bones here. Take an inhale to grow a little bit taller through the spine. As you exhale, hollow the belly, round and contract through that lower back. And again, inhale to lengthen. Exhale to contract back, trying to find that deep, full flexion of the spine. 2 more. Last one. Hold it. Arms reach forward. Take an inch back on an inhale. Exhale, contract forward. And again, roll an inch back. and forward. 2 more. Back. Roll it back. Take a second breath to roll the spine down. Now, keep the shoulders down the back. Walk your feet in. We'll still keep the legs hips width apart. Feel that width across the hips and pelvis. Take an inhale to lift the shoulders, reach for the ceiling. And exhale to lower. One more time. From here, let's bring those arms back overhead to a hover from the floor. Keeping the ribs in, shrug the shoulders up to the ears. And exhale, draw them down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Feel that nice length and stretch through the spine. Ribs stay in, gliding the scapula up the back. One more time. Arms come up, and let's press them down to our sides on the mat. Now, keeping that width across the hips, we're going to bring the right leg up to a tabletop or that 90-90 from the hip and knee, and then we're going to lower back through toe ball heel. Left leg lifting through heel ball toe and lower through toe ball heel. So we're still working the feet as we come up and lower. The left. Now think of floating the leg up and placing it back down. Deepen through the lower abs. So it's your abdominals lifting the leg to tabletop and controlling it back. The left. 4 more. And adding on, let's bring the right leg up to stay, and then bring the left leg up. Lower the right, and lower the left. Switch side, lift the left, and the right. Lower it down. 2 more. Right, and lift. The left. Adding on, bring the right leg up to stay, and then bring the left leg up. All 3 magnets, inner thighs, knees, and ankles. So legs together, connecting into that midline, pelvis heavy, true 90, knees over the hips, shins parallel to the ground. We're going to reach those arms back overhead, keeping the shoulders down and the ribs in. Let's find an upward contraction. Arms lift. Curl the head and the shoulders forward. Look in between those legs. And then take a full breath to actively lengthen back down. And again. 2 more. To stay. Hold it. Take another breath. Curl a little bit higher. Shoulders stay down the back. You have that nice space through the neck and the chin. Pulsing those arms. 2 inhales, 2 exhales, and have a full set to lengthen the legs up to 90. 4, 3, full set to lower to your first. Third, hold it. 4, 3, 2. Take it down to your second. Third, hold it. 4, 3, 2. Take it to your lowest point. Lowest diagonal. Hold it. For 5, 4, 3. Last 2. Last 1. Hold it. Reach through those arms. Lower the legs all the way down. And inhale, arms lift. And roll the spine back. Find a shoulder shrug. And draw the shoulders down the back. One more time. Shrug. Keeping the legs together. Flex the feet, arms up. We're going to roll it up. Scoop the belly. Contract up and over 2 pulses. Lifting up and over into that contraction. Point the toe. Roll back into. Arms reach back overhead. And again. flex. Pulse. Point the toes, roll it down. 2 more. Point the feet, roll down in 2. Arms reach up and overhead. Last one. Pulse it. Last set. Point through the feet, roll it back down in 2. Articulating through the spine, bone at a time. Actively reach the arms overhead. Bringing both arms up, let's open them out to a T. Now, develop it through the right leg in and up. Pulse the right leg in. And flex. Reach long through the right foot and lower it down. Left side, develop it through the left leg. We bend and extend up to the ceiling. Double breath to pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now flex. Reach long through the left foot and lower it down. Now we're going to go into our leg circle. So keeping those ribs in, actively pressing through those hands into the floor. Developing the right leg in and up to stay. We're going to take that right leg across the midline, circle it down, bring it around and pull back to center. Our pelvis stays stable on the floor and inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Again. 2. Center, reverse. Maintain the stability of the pelvis. Bottom leg is pressing down into the mat. And center. Full breath to scissor the legs to switch. Circle the leg, cross over the midline, down around to lift. Again. 2. Reverse that. Think of reaching the leg long out of that hip socket. Last one. And center and reach long to lower. Flex the feet, arms come up. Let's roll up into. Scoop those abs. Contract the spine forward, 2 pulses. Last set. Inhale, lengthen up and arms down to your sides. Good. Bring those legs a little bit wider than the hips. Maybe think mat width apart, sitting right on top of your sit bone. So make sure we're not rounding through the lower back. We're right on top. If this feels hard, you have tight hamstrings or lower back, soften at the knees or find a diamond. That's an option. But you want the spine to be nice and tall, organized. So if you're here with the legs straight, feet are flexed, toes are lifted towards the ceiling, reach those arms straight forward, shoulders are down, ribs in. Take an inhale to grow a little bit taller through the spine. As we exhale, we're going to start to peel the spine away from an imaginary wall behind us, stretching from the crown of the head all the way to the tailbone. And then let's take a full breath to roll and stack the spine back up, nice and tall. And again. And a full breath to roll it back. As we inhale, find that lift, narrow the sit bones, exhale, contract and stretch the spine forward. Try to pass over your toes, and then a full breath, maintaining that organization as we lengthen tall. 2 more. Last one. Open those arms out to the T. Keep the ribs in, shoulders down. We're going to inhale, rotate to the right, and then pull back to center. And over to the left, and center. Now, bring the fingertips to the shoulders. So we're not involving those arms. It's more about the spine doing the rotation. Think of lifting those ribs out of those hips so you create that space, and then a full breath to rotate to your right side. Full breath to the left. And again. 2 more. Keep growing taller through the crown of the head. Last one. And bring it back to center. Arms open to the T. We're going to go into our saw, adding 3 exhales. So let's take an inhale to rotate, and we exhale for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, roll up to vertical. Exhale, center. Inhale to rotate, and 2 more. Last one. And arms come down. Roll the shoulders back. One more roll. And exhale. Bring the legs together. Arms come up. Contract forward. Point the toes. And let's roll it back into. Arms lift. And let's open those arms out to a T. So again, anytime your arms are on the T, make sure they're aligned with the shoulders are a little lower, but not higher. Actively pressing into the floor with those arms and triceps. Bend at the knees. Bringing the legs hips width apart again. So think of the heels aligned with your sit bones. You're going to take a full breath just to find that pelvic curl. So sinking through the lower abdominals, belly button towards the mat as we rotate that pelvis. And then a full breath to lengthen back to that stable position of the pelvis. And again, full breath to curl. Full breath to lengthen. Keep going. Warming up through the lower back. Getting that abdominal connection through the lower abs. 2 more. And lengthen back. Last one. And actively lengthen. Adding on, we're going to take 2 full breaths to come all the way up into that pelvic press. So initiate with that pelvic curl. Slowly continue to peel all the way up into that pelvic press. Ribs are in, belly in, front of the hip flexors reaching long towards the front. And then think of the heels pulling in, pulling the mat in as we roll it down, creating length and space through the back line of the spine. 3 breaths. Through the mid-back, and all the way through to that starting point. And again, have 2 full breaths to go up, 3 full breaths to roll it down. Here we go. Roll longer through the side seams as we come up. Roll it down in 3, 2, and lengthen through. 2 more times. Last one. Roll it down in 3. Roll down in 2. And lengthen out. Extend both legs out. Lace together, magnets together, flex the feet, arms up, contract forward, up and over. Pulse for 2. Stretching the spine rather than bouncing the back. Point the toes, roll it back. This time we're going to come to an upper contraction, bringing the legs up to tabletop. So deepen that curl from your upper abs for second quadrant. Shoulders are down the back. We're going to bring the right knee in. Outside hand reaches for the ankle. Inside hand reaches for the knee. Bottom leg is extended. Full breath to switch. Single leg stretch. And switch. As we're switching, those legs, those magnets are brushing through. Full breath. 4, 3, 2. Adding on, bring both knees in. Keep that upper contraction. Double leg, extend the legs, arms reach back. Bring it around to pull it in. So double leg stretch. Extend the legs to a low diagonal, arms reach overhead as we maintain that contraction in space. And reach. Two more. Last one. Hold it. Grab onto the back of the right leg, extending the left leg out to a hover from the mat. Now, option with the hold of the leg. You can hold from the thigh, back of the calf, or towards the ankle. The higher you go on the leg, the little bit more stretch you'll get. Reaching long through those legs, full breath to switch. Scissor through the legs. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. Hold it. Bring both legs up to 90. Legs together, magnets together. Keep your upper contraction. Both hands reach behind. Now, actively press your head into your hands. So you feel that engagement through the back. We're going to flex to lower the legs. Point to lift. Double leg lift. Flex to lower. Point to lift. And again, on an inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. 4 more. 3. 2 more. Last one. Hold it. Bend at the knees. Crisscross. Extend the left leg as you rotate to the right side. Full breath to switch. Try to keep the shoulders off the mat. The legs are still working through your midline. 4, 3, 2, last one. And bring those knees in. Lower it down. Circle the legs around. One direction. Then reverse that. We'll do 2 circles. Extend the legs out. We're going to bend at the left knee. Reach the right arm back overhead. You're going to roll onto your right side to come onto your belly on the mat. So let's just start by stacking both hands underneath the forehead. Shoulders are down the back. Ribs and abs are pulling in. Legs are straight and extended. Feet are pointed. Now, just take an inhale in place. As you exhale, I want you to think of pulling the belly, your abdominal muscles up and away from the mat. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Again. 2 more. As we inhale, we release the muscles. As we exhale, we engage the abdominal muscles up and away from the mat. 2 more. Last one. Hold it. So keep those abs pulling up and away from the mat. Keep the shoulders down the back. From there, bring those hands out to a W position. So your thumbs are aligned with the shoulders. Hands are off the mat though. Elbows are down. Head is down. Forehead on the mat or slightly off. Keeping the shoulders down the back, elbows pulling in towards the waistline, abdominals pulling up. We're going to come up into our baby swan. So reach long through those legs behind you as we roll a marble with the tip of the nose that rotates the head. Draw the shoulder blades down the back to lift the chest and sternum. And then you have a full breath to actively lengthen back down. And again. And lengthen. One more time. Roll that marble. And lengthen. Adding on. We're going to roll that marble. Hold it. Ribs and abs. And you're going to press to the heels of the hands. Extend those arms. Come up into that full extension. Inhale, grow a little taller. And then exhale, bend at those elbows as we grow longer through the spine. All the way through. And again. Go longer through the back as we lengthen out. Got two more. Passing through that baby swan. Pressing, pulling all the way into that full extension, full swan. Full breath to lengthen back down. Last one. Inhale, lift a little higher, and exhale to lengthen out. Press those hips back towards the heels, round the spine, stretch the back. Take a breath. One more. Come on 12 fours, hands and knees. So again, shoulders directly over the wrists, spread the fingers wide. Lift the feet, tuck the toes, press those hips up to the ceiling. Take an inhale to lift those heels. And exhale, lower. Again, deepen the fold of the hips to lift. And lower. Two more. Up. Last one. Walk your hands back towards the feet. Double breath. Take a plie. And exhale to lengthen. One more time. Bend. And extend. Head is heavy. Roll up in two. Stacking the spine tall, shoulders down the back, letting the head be the last thing to come. Roll the shoulders back. Roll them back. Two more. Shoulders back. Draw them down. Grow taller through the spine. Last one. And exhale. And we are done. Nice work. Thank you.